Coming into the First Alert Weather Center now, the latest drought information showing exceptional drought across a lot of the South, including Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Severe drought now expanding northward and eastward. And now, for the first time this year, also coming into parts of the Carolinas. The upstate of South Carolina now classified as extreme drought. And while we had severe drought west of Charlotte last week, with the lack of rainfall this week, that has now surged eastward to include all of the I-77 corridor, and moderate drought now is pushed to the east of us. So how do we get into this situation? Well, it's slow to develop. Most droughts do. We started off the year with plenty of rain, and you notice the running surplus all year long. Even with a couple of dry months there, May and June, we were a little bit on the dry side, but we still had a surplus of about 2¼ inches. We got into July and August, and the rain just came. In fact, we had about a foot of rain in those 2 months, so we had a surplus of about 5 to 6 inches. And you're thinking, okay, great, we're in good shape here, right? Not so fast. As quickly as it started, it all came to a halt. September, October, and now into November, very, very dry. And now for the first time this week, we're seeing that we're actually running a deficit for the year here in Charlotte. We desperately need rain. The lakes are starting to dry up. Our water supply systems are starting to get a little bit compromised in some areas, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this. And of course, wildfires becoming more of an issue, especially in our mountain counties. Wildfires have certainly been in the news here of late in North Carolina and really throughout a lot of the South and even out into the West. Wildfires, how they happen and why they happen. Well, first off, there are some key ingredients that we look for when we're thinking about wildfires and how they are created. First off, you've got to have that dry vegetation, low humidity, and once they get going, gusty winds oftentimes fan those flames, and that's when these things can really get out of control. So what happens here? Well, those ingredients you're going to need: brush, leaves, dry grass. That's exactly what we have in a lot of our viewing area right now because of the drought situation, the recent rain, and of course this season. It's fall, so these leaves are coming down. You need a heat source, you need fuel, you need oxygen. Right now we have got the fuel, and oxygen always leads into these things, but what's the heat source? Occasionally these things will start by lightning. Mother Nature can do that. However, most of the time, the vast majority of these start by human interaction, cigarette butts, vehicles, sparks, and once the wind gets going, these things can quickly get out of control, and we have seen that. They're very difficult to fight, especially in mountainous terrain. What we need most right now is a good soaking rain. We've got some rain in the forecast for the weekend. How much, though, we'll see.